Hello and welcome to the 12th edition of SplashCast, the weekly podcast for water and wastewater professionals. I'm Marina Curren, and here's your update for week commencing the 10th of November, 2025. The Environment Agency has issued a warning that unless the coming winter delivers at least average rainfall, large areas of England could be in drought by spring 2026. The warning stems from its recently released report titled Drought Prospects for Spring 2026 published this month. The report outlines 3 broad winter rainfall scenarios and their implications for drought status. The first scenario, based on winter rainfall hitting 100% of the long-term average, would mean most of England could be in recovery or normal status by spring, though certain groundwater-sensitive areas may still remain under prolonged dry weather conditions. The second scenario is based on a rainfall amount of under 80% of the long-term average, making the risk of drought much greater, with large swathes from Wessex to Yorkshire in drought by spring. In the worst-case scenario, with rainfall levels at less than 60% of the long-term average, the EA predicts that all of England would be projected to be in drought by the start of spring. Water Minister Emma Hardy delivered a keynote speech at the British Water Annual Conference in Coventry, setting out plans for major reform and long-term investment across the water sector. The minister pledged a more coordinated regulatory framework, new infrastructure, and a renewed focus on customer trust and affordability. She said the sector faced a defining moment as it seeks to respond to climate pressures, population growth, and public concern over performance and pollution. The conference's theme, Better Together, framed her call for collaboration between government, regulators, companies, and the supply chain. Ofwat has proposed an £11 million enforcement package following its findings that Wessex Water failed to operate, maintain, and upgrade its wastewater network adequately to ensure that they could cope with the flows of sewage and wastewater. This announcement marks the 6th case in Ofwat's largest and most complex set of investigations into all companies and their management of their wastewater treatment works and networks. It follows the conclusion of cases against Yorkshire Water, Thames Water, Northumbrian Water, Anglian Water, and South West Water earlier this year, which have resulted in enforcement action worth more than £240 million. The Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Committee held a hearing at the House of Commons where Emma Reynolds, recently appointed Secretary of State at Defra, faced probing questioning over the future of the UK water sector. The session carried particular weight for the industry, coming as expectations build for significant structural reform. At the heart of the session was concern over what comes next following the publication of the Independent Water Commission's final report and the government's stated intention to establish a super-regulator for the water sector, potentially consolidating the roles of bodies such as Ofwat, the Environment Agency, and the Drinking Water Inspectorate. Committee members pressed Emma Reynolds on timing and scope, how the reform will interface with infrastructure investment, environmental performance, and the regulatory remit of existing bodies. And finally, the water industry is set to benefit from a new group created by government to ensure it has the skilled workforce it needs to deliver record levels of investment and reform. The Water Skills Strategic Group held its first meeting this week, bringing together senior leaders in government from and across the water sector and its supply chain. The group's focus will be the delivery of the £104 billion investment, the largest since privatisation. Convened by Defra and co-chaired with sector skills body Energy and Utility Skills, the group will drive coordinated action to grow a future-ready, highly skilled workforce across England and Wales, which will form the future of the water sector. That's it from me. Join me next Friday for another episode of SplashCast, and subscribe to Water Magazine on YouTube for notifications when we go live.